Okay,
Well,
hi.
I'd like to welcome my good friend Hai, who I was have the opportunity to mentor at the business mentoring program at Florida Atlantic University a few years ago. And Hai has made some huge strides in his life, and I'm excited to talk with him today and to invite you, the listener, into the conversation as well as we explore topics like higher education and entrepreneurship and getting involved in corporate America and kind of leveraging some of those educational and mentorship experiences. So hi, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. Also, thank you, Justin. I feel flattered. Yeah. So, yeah, it's my honor to be here with Justin and you guys. Yeah. I just want to talk a bit about my background. So, I came to US 8 years ago. Really love the country and especially Florida. Like the state is beautiful. And I love the sunshine, all that stuff. But as any other immigrant, like my first year is not easy, but uh, but it helped me learn a lot and going through so after my first 1 year I have the residency at Florida and I go to Palm Beach State College and after that I
So
transfer
hi,
to
hi.
AU. Huh?
Uh, as you're sharing a little bit about your journey, where when you actually moved to America, where did you come from originally?
I came from Vietnam, original from Vietnam.
From Vietnam. Is
Yeah.
there a particular like town or area in Vietnam where you came from?
I came from Ho Chi Minh City, so the previous name is Saigon. Yeah, maybe
Okay,
you heard the
very
name of
good.
that city. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and
So
so what inspired you to choose of all the different universities that you could have chosen, what was really the deciding factor to go to Florida Atlantic University and what really inspired you to choose a degree? I think you got your degree in finance, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I love to talk about that. So I share. I'm immigrant here, so my family not really wealthy. So go through go through Palm Beach State College, like State College. It helped me get out of my first 2 year debt free. I think that's a good thing. And transfer to Florida Atlantic University is really a big milestone for me because, like, for a student, I think two things I want to mention is time and money.
Mm.
So it's good for you to pick a university that's close to your house. It's only 20-minute drive. So it saves you a lot of times you can do for any other things. You can work for more money. You can spend time on internship, on work experience, all that stuff, or you can work for more money. And
Right.
also, Florida Atlantic University is very affordable with a quality education. And they really pursue to help students like me to have a good high quality education
Mhm.
without go too big into that. So
So,
I'm
hi,
very appreciative for that.
when you what year did you come to the United States?
8 years ago, so 2017.
2017.
Mhm.
And before that, was your family already here?
Um, my wife family is here. Yeah,
Your wife's
so
family's here.
yeah, I can
So
say I yeah, follow
is it
the.
your wife's family that owns the dry cleaning business?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They own dry cleaning business. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So talk to me a little bit about being a part of a family-owned operation here. I think it's in Palm Beach Gardens, the dry
Mhm.
cleaning company.
Yep.
You were going to school and working in your wife's dry cleaning business simultaneously. What
Mhm.
kind of lessons did you learn from kind of helping to operate that small business while still going to school and all those sorts of things?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's goes side by side together. One thing I miss that I wish I can have more time to spend on campus. FAU have a beautiful campus and a lot of things going on here. But like being a full time student and work a full time job at my family business is like I don't have any time left. So, but
Mhm.
like it goes side by side. So I go like even that my major in finance is I'm still in business. So I from what I learned from FAU I can apply to my family business and I can what I learned from my family business I can apply see like is it fit to what I learned in the school. So
Mm.
one thing I can mention here is like dry cleaning business is more it's like hospitality. So a lot of store offer you the same service as we do. So what made a customer decide to go back? It's the customer service like who work at the front door, who remember their name, who remember their story. who will ask them again like what happened with them after the last one. So example, like maybe one customer share with me one day like his wife have not have a good health, so you make sure that the next time he come you want to ask him about his wife again. That's
Hmm.
why you care about customer, not you see the customer as a person, not just a wallet. And I think that helped me to apply that to even to my current career.
And I
Yeah.
think that is so true because a lot of times in my personal experience when I worked in a corporate setting and had dry cleaning all the time and stuff, my interactions with the dry cleaners oftentimes it starts by who's going to be able to provide the service at the most reasonable price and not mess up my clothes. And so that's where it starts. But in order for me to continue in and develop that client loyalty, what you're talking about, the differentiating factor is every time I go into High's dry cleaning store, he knows me and we joke around and we have a good time and we talk about our families and stuff like that. And so I'm not going to another dry cleaner for 50 cent difference in the shirt cleaning, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so customer service absolutely vital. That's a great point, High. So when we talk about managing the challenges of studying full time, you were in the process of starting a family. I believe you have a 2-year old now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's super exciting, and I definitely want to talk more about that. And but you also studied and obtained your FINRA, the SIE, and started creating, like you mentioned, this word milestones in your journey. So talk to me a little bit about that, the challenges of studying full time and doing well in school, as I know that you did, and still, managing this family business and starting a family and all these things.
Yeah. That one thing that I think is with my at that time it's hard, of course, because like time is your limited resources. But like it's helped me a lot even with now in like my career that I work full time at Walmart now, and I still have to want to be available the most with my family. So
Mm,
it's just like time, like a lot of people talk today about like work life balance, but I believe more in like work life prioritization. So it's
mhm.
more about like how you prioritize what is more important to you.
Okay.
So when exam come, you have to more prioritize on that. But outside of that, you can prioritize more on growing business, helping your finance, and also like sometimes you not sometimes I should say that most of the time you have to prioritize your time with your partner, your
Mm,
wife, to make
mm,
sure like you because sometimes I feel that when you go into marriage for too long, you just feel like the other person is belong to you. You don't have to
mm,
spend your most valuable resources is time
mm,
with her. So I think that's very important. That sometimes I have to remember about that. Like spend time with her, like remember about like why we are together. And
mm,
when exam come and when the some milestone come, like finish the semester, I can prioritize on that.
mm,
And for business, like when the high season come, I have to prioritize my time more on the business and maybe a little less on learning. But I still can use some time like maybe 1 hour a day at home to studying so to keep so I don't forget, I don't put too much pressure on myself at the end of the semester. That's just my way
Can you
to yeah.
do you recall a time where you ever felt kind of overwhelmed or maybe even discouraged, and what did you do to overcome that?
Yeah, it's happened a lot, but one thing I feel hard to overcome is like support family business, because like when doing business with family some it's very hard compared to like just do business with business partner.
Mm,
Like there is always emotion involved.
mm,
Like you want to influence their action. You want to do the best for the customer. You want to offer the lowest price. But when you want to do that, you want to involve other family member to do that with you through the best way, not just like okay I am in charge of that and you have to follow me. That's not the
mm,
way when you're doing like small business that you only have 3 people running the business. That's not the way. It's just like in corporate, like I tell you to do that and you do that. So I think that's the hardest way, but like
mm,
overall like to overcome that, I think the way I do it, just try to show the other my other family member like why I'm doing that. Is that reasonable? Is that the best way? Is that will bring like both benefit for the customer and for us as well as the business owner? So
Okay.
if we can do that, I think you can influence people to do what you want.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so one being a finance manager, I know that you and I have talked about getting into personal investing and things like that on your own, but you also decided to take it to a professional level. And I'm sure there are lots of finance students at FAU and finance students who will be listening to this presentation or this conversation. Now,
Mhm.
so in getting your degree in finance, you studied for your FINRA SIE, which is kind of a requirement to even begin to get into professional finance that requires investment licenses and whatnot. And from there, you went and you did an internship with Northwestern Mutual. So if you can maybe talk with us a little bit about kind of the decision to go ahead and take the SIE, what that looked like as far as getting you into an internship with Northwestern Mutual, and what your experience with them was like.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I can relate to one thing I mentioned before that I am immigrant here. Like my family's like not really come from wealthy, not really wealthy. So I'm really want to focus. That's why I decided to learn finance. So just what you lack about, you want to learn about, right? You don't have
Mhm.
money, you want to learn about money. I think that a reasonable decision. So with that, like I can say, I can take a chance to say thank you to you, Justin. Like the learning I learned from you really helped me to go into like what I learned from that internship. Because for that internship in Northwestern Mutual, like communication is a very crucial
Hmm.
skill. So you teach me a lot into that, like how to create connection, how to uh, like make stranger become familiar, like all that stuff.
Hmm.
Like yeah, so that because like from that, like I think that I want to talk more about finance. So I want to be a financial advisor, and to be a financial advisor, you work for financial advising term. So that's why I applied for the internship for Northwestern Mutual,
Hmm.
and from that, yeah, one thing I learned from that is like I can be very knowledgeable in finance, but not really. That not enough to be a financial advisor. Like sales skill is super important to be a financial advisor.
Hmm.
And I learned a lot. And the sales skill, I think, is not only one why you try to sell somebody something. You can think about sales skill like you sell somebody an idea, and it
Hmm.
applies for every part. Not even you have to be a salesperson or maybe a financial advisor. But when in the future, when you work in a corporate career, you want to pursue it, other people to do what you want, not by power. So you still have to sell them your idea.
Hmm.
So that really crucial. Even now, I'm not pursue the career of financial advisor. I think that skill is very crucial from what I learned from you, Justin,
Hmm.
from the business mentorship program, and also from that experience, from the internship experience. It's really helped me to grow my career right now.
So would you say that personality wise, you feel like you're more of a customer service, relationship management type of a person rather than like a hardcore salesperson?
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm,
Okay. All right. And so so those two things, they're not necessarily mutually exclusive because I think that sales in the modern marketplace definitely requires the soft skills of building strong relationships. But there is something that people who are really good at sales, there is something that they have that people who are far more relationally attuned, it's 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 something different, right?
mm-hmm,
Absolutely. So talk to me about moving from kind of small business, family business into this internship. Now you're starting to kind of get a taste of corporate America. And
mm-hmm,
then you move on to begin this career, this huge shift into one of the largest corporations on the planet, Walmart. And
mm-hmm.
so tell me about what that was like and the adjustments that that required to your lifestyle and some of the costs that were involved and some of the benefits.
Yeah, sure. I for that I want to say really appreciate again for FAU, because like at FAU they provide you. I don't remember the website, but there is a platform for you to apply for all the internship when the summer come. So
Hmm.
I use that platform. So I think it's used for all the state college at Florida. So all the internship appear to here. I applied at that time, like when I applied for internship in my senior year, I applied for Walmart, I applied for Wells Fargo, like I applied for Chase, for Bank of America. Like at that time, I'm still finance, and so finance not only you dream to work for like investment firm, like luxury, but like Walmart come through my place, my lens as the internship looked very attractive, and they promised to expose me through real works. And one thing I really want to mention, if you your audience is student who really want an internship, always apply for a paid internship, because like if you have a paid internship, first you have income is good, then you do it free, right? You have more
Hmm.
motivation. And if you do a paid internship, the company always have the incentive to give you real work,
Hmm.
impactful work, like the real work you can experience. So even that you don't accept the offer later, you still got some real life experience that you can put on your resume and apply later.
Hmm.
So paid is always better. Of
Right.
course, it's always more competitive, but that what is my incentive. So I all apply for the paid internship, and that's how I end up at the internship at Walmart.
Hmm.
Yep. And that internship go really well, and that's how I end up at Walmart. Yeah, and one thing you want to mention about is like how the transition coming. So after the internship, I got the offer, so I moved from Florida to Bentonville. Yeah, it surprised me about like how tired it is to move across town, because like when I come to the US, I moved from Vietnam to Florida just with a suitcase, and now I move with my wife, so it's a lot of involved in here. But
Hmm.
one good thing is Walmart will support you the cost you spend for moving. So
So let me review a little bit of what you said there. So going back a little bit back to Northwest or Northwestern Mutual
mhm,
is the idea of landing an internship. Some internships you receive pay while you're engaged in that internship,
mhm,
and other ones you do not receive pay.
mm,
And you're saying that there are some significant benefits to going with an internship where you're paid versus one where you're not, not just monetarily speaking, but in the actual quality of the work that you get to engage in. Is that right?
yep, yep,
So I have to completely agree with that because my internship that I did when I was at university, studying at Northwood University, was with Scott Trade Financial, and I think I made like $8 an hour for their when I started as an internship, and I was an intern for them. You know, that was only like 15 hours a week or something, but I interned with them for over 2 years and ended up in a career with them that eventually led to a management position where I was making six figures with that company for my pay package. And so yeah, absolutely. My personal experience, I've never had an unpaid internship, but the experience that I had with a paid internship was definitely, as you explained, the work that they gave me within the brokerage was meaningful, even though I wasn't yet licensed. I still was able to interact with the technology. I was able to interact with customers to a certain extent, and you don't always get that, and you don't always get, I guess, the respect either when you're not being paid, right? And so
that,
that is a great point.
yep. Uh, can I say more about
Yeah,
my
please continue. Continue.
journey? Yeah, sure. So after moving to Bentonville here, I really love the town here. Yeah, we have four seasons here compared to Florida, so I love that. But like, yeah, we 2 years ago we have a new boy, so that the period that I helped me grow myself a lot, like become a father, like that a great responsibility. Like
So
I'm
what
sure you
are
can
what
tell.
are the three biggest challenges of being going from being a good husband to being a dad? What are the three biggest challenges that you face so far?
Okay. So the first one I can say is that you can argue with your wife, you cannot argue with your baby. So that one of the things that sometimes that you feel that something is more important than than yourself and your wife as well.
Mm,
So like we have he will be our first priority in our life. And secondly, like I think I learned is that like he's helped me to become a better person because of course you know that your children will become an image of yourself. So
mm,
if something you don't want they to do, you don't want they to learn, you have to unlearn yourself. Yeah,
mm,
you don't, for example, you don't want them to use electronic device too much. You don't use the electronic device too much.
mm,
You want them to be athletic. You want to work out a lot to show them, okay, here's the lifestyle I do. You will follow me. So that is the second point that I feel that. And the
mm.
third one is like having a children is costs a lot of money, of course. So it's even the what should I say, the best time point in time for me to consider to think about like what my future plan look like,
Mhm,
how what legacy I want to leave for my boy, and how I can the best prepare him for what is coming. Like, will I prepare him for coming when he's 18? So
mhm,
what plan I have for him, support him through going to college or any career. I'm very open to going to college or trade school, but like it's still better to help him with a starting money, like buying a house is a good stuff. Not buying a house, sorry, buying a car, a good stuff for him to move from here to there, and
mhm,
teach him how to manage money. I think it's super important.
mm.
Yep,
So I
that's
think
my
I'm
twist.
gonna I think I'm gonna kind of know the answer to this, but so the reality is that you have accomplished a lot in the last 8 years here in America. So
Yeah,
I mean that I tell you all the time how proud I am of you. I'm so excited to see you succeeding in your journey, not just professionally, but what you just described about being a husband and a father is so impressive. There are so many American men who lack that. And so I'm proud of you. You're setting a great example, and I think that's amazing. You've accomplished a lot, and so talk to me about how becoming a parent has actually influenced your professional goals and how you approach your work. Has there been any shift or adjustment as far as that? I mean, you've talked a little bit about the idea of balance as far as investing time, but has there been any other changes in your professional goals? And obviously, you're providing for your family and being a good role model for your son is a motivating factor. What other things are motivating you to kind of stay the course? I know one of my mentors once told me that Justin, you can't control what other people do, but what you can do is choose to just do the next right thing. So, what keeps you on the path of just doing the next right thing?
yeah. So I will pivot a little back about what I mentioned before about work-life prioritization. So when having I I I just moving to my current role like 9 months ago. So after the internship, basically, just a little bit context. After the internship, I come to Bentonville and we go through a rotation program for a year.
Mm,
So you go through many other programs to learn about the business, and after that, you got graduation and you play in a new role. So when you go with the new role, a lot of things going on, and it's so hard for you to catch up in the first few months. It happens for any job.
mm,
Yeah, you know, like the first few months already the toughest. So I bring a lot of that stuff back home before I
mm,
have the baby. But
mm,
now I have a baby. I will try my best to not bring my headache back home. So my work is like work like isolation. So you want to live what at work, what at home. So
mm,
you want to work as hard you can at work, but like you want to enjoy your time at home so you can rest, you can
mm,
feel better, and you can drive for more efficiency. So
mm,
one thing I can bring that when I become a father is that like I and also as like we do at Walmart, we try to improve our efficiency. We try want to do the same thing but faster and faster. So
mm,
I can be more efficiency at work and I can spend more time with my family.
mm.
So that is go line in line with that. And with more time with my family, more rest time, I will become more I recover better and I can come back to work and can improve things more better.
Okay.
So that one thing I learned as a father. Yeah,
All
and
right.
I want to tell my boy the same time as well. Like you want to work hard, but you want to work smart as well. So, yeah.
So that being said, defining success and you've worked in small family business, you've worked in big corporate America. When you think about building what we call a strong, fruitful business at General Media Consulting, whether that is in a corporate setting or that is as an entrepreneur, what would you say are the three key elements that you believe have to be in place to build a strong, fruitful business?
That's a good question. So the first thing like you always have to think about is like why the customer need you.
Hmm.
So if they something that like they only can find from you, like that is your biggest success. So you can hold them in your hand.
Hmm.
Like anything that what is the word in business? I forget, but it's just like something that like oh yeah, comparative advantage.
Hmm.
So the thing that only at your business you have. So for example, at Walmart, we have the best price.
Hmm.
For my business, I want the best customer service.
Hmm.
So think about that. So if like we can help our customer to have that, think about that idea and build that, integrate that into their business. I think like
So the first thing we want in place as to build a strong, fruitful business is a competitive advantage, something
mm,
that we bring to the table that the customer actually needs, and they know that they really can only get that from us.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The second thing I want to mention is like what additional thing we can do for the customer. So what is the next thing? So
Hmm.
okay, customer trust us now. So what I can bring more to you,
Hmm.
so I can
So the
help you
second thing
more.
really,
And
sec,
with that, like, can we bundle? Mhm,
So the second thing is really how can I add value? So I've got a competitive
mm,
advantage, and that competitive advantage is established in the mind of the customer. Now, whatever needs I'm already meeting of theirs, now how am I going to add even more value so they continue to be a an advocate of my business?
mm. Yes, yeah, yeah. And one thing I want to mention is that as well is how we can bundle that together. It's just
Mm,
like you see in insurance business, right? When you have the home insurance, you buy the car insurance,
mm-hmm,
and you bundle it together, you get lower price.
mm,
So how you can use the current service with the new additional service combined together, get and give the value back to the customer. So
okay.
that's super important things. Yeah. And one last thing I think about is like how you can write digital, like, and so that in part in like how you can help like decrease the pain point from customer. Can you
Mm,
the same service, can you have the customer do them by yourself by themselves through your
mm,
website,
mm-hmm,
through the app that you build? I think
mm-hmm,
that's super important in the current environment. Like uh in-person meeting is important. I'm still appreciate all the in-person meeting. Give your customer a chance, a point, an option to do. Like, okay, today I have time. I can go to the store.
mm-hmm.
I want to talk with you. But the other day I don't have time. Is there a way that I can just like they walk outside my door, for example? I
Yeah.
really want to do that. Just drop my clothes there, and I will pick it up later. Like give
So
your customer
so
off. Yeah.
So in the modern environment, we also, the third thing is we want to solve our customers' problems in a way that saves them time or makes it more efficient for their lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give them option. Yeah,
Okay.
think about that before your competitor give them option. Yeah,
Okay.
that is
All right.
very important. Yep.
So you want to be able to have that hands-on physical presence with your customer, but you also want them to be able to do something quickly if they have to do it that way.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And so, for students and young professionals who might be facing some cultural or financial or personal hurdles, what kind of advice would you give them about kind of pushing through and creating opportunities. I mean, you transitioned from a foreign country to a new country. You said you come from a background where you didn't have a lot of money, and you've obviously there's all sorts of hurdles involved with starting a family, studying while working. You've overcome a lot. So, all that being said, what advice would you give to students or young professionals who might be facing some of the same challenges that you have already endured?
Yeah. I am a truly believer that change only come from inside.
Mm,
So the first step of like to for change to come is
mm,
like be honest with yourself. For
mm,
example, like at the time I just come I be honest with myself like um I need more money. That
mm,
is just like okay, and that is the first step to honest with money. And from that, like you will start to push yourself to think about like how I can make more money. I can
mm,
work more. I can work two jobs. I can spend less. I can in save some money and investing. Like
mm,
own that thing, so you
mm,
consider own your option and to start like rolling.
mm,
So that one thing I think, and also like I want to share a little bit about like myself. Like currently, like 90 days ago, I'm diagnosed with diabetes. I don't believe that, but after like the second analysis, it's true.
mm,
So I'm be honest with myself. Like my health is not good. So what I can do with that?
mm,
And so I joined a program from my company, and they help me. It's go a lot of hard thing, like it less some stuff. It's more of the good stuff, like green stuff. Work
mm,
out more, like spend less time in front of the screen. Not
mm,
really like it, but gradually you change yourself. So be honest with yourself. Think about what you can do, and let change is 1% at a time. And like gradually you will feel that it easier and easier
mm.
until you feel okay. You have to change again.
So that goes back to and every mentee that I work with through the business mentoring program at FAU, I go through Donald Miller's book, Business Made Simple. And one of the points in that book is the idea that we need to make the conscious decision. We need to choose to not be confused, right? A lot of
Mhm,
times we don't want to accept a certain truth because it's difficult, or it's inconvenient. But in order to head off more difficult situations, if we make a conscious effort to not choose to be confused, if we choose to accept things as they actually are, look for truth, and actually go with that truth, that is a huge thing with being a value driven person, right?
Yep. Yep.
So that's great. And then so what's next for you, Hi? I mean, you've done so much. Are there any entrepreneurial or leadership ambitions that you're kind of excited about over the next 3 to 5 years? I mean, what do you see in the future with regard to career or new businesses? What is kind of on your radar?
Like for now, I want to put a stop sign at least for now about like entrepreneur. But one thing I love with the current company I work for is a company is really promote for entrepreneur.
Hmm.
Entrepreneur, you know that word. So like
Yep.
really give you a time and like support for you to be um to invent your way of work in here. So it's helped me a lot. So that one thing. The other thing, like for now, like I feel like my career path is pretty open. I don't really seek for like leadership role, but I want to expose myself through like you know that Walmart is really big. There's we you can like leadership always say a words in here like you can be anything at Walmart. So I want to expose myself as much as I can
Hmm.
because now I'm a very early in the career, so I want to expose myself like as much as I can with all the area of the business. And
Hmm.
after that, like after a while, I can accumulate all the experience, and I will think again like, okay, so now like what I really want to focus on, and like climb the ladder as high as I can. Yep.
Okay.
So that is just my current game plan.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today and to take what you have experienced and then to turn around and to build up, equip, and encourage other students and professionals who might be able to benefit from your story. So thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you. It's my honor, Justin. Thank you. It's been a while since I see you, and it's such a pleasure conversation.
All right. Very good. Very good. Likewise.